So let's start. Previously, we learned about the cases in German. Now, I will not focus too much upon cases because it's like it's entirely a different world at all. I mean, you will keep on learning and learning, and it will be very boring. So I'll be only teaching, or I'll be only touching the stuff which is more relevant to day-to-day life. So quickly, wiederholen, quickly revision. Nominative, accusative, dative. Nominative used to be the subject. Then accusative used to be, can anyone tell what it used to be?
Direct object.
Absolutely right. Direct object. And dative is the indirect object. Okay. A point to note here is mostly dative is for human beings, right? So it's like, uh,
Person.
yeah, yeah. So if you are in a doubt, let's say if there is a sentence and you are in a doubt whether it is dative, nominative, accusative. So first of all, just find out if there is a subject. If there is any subject, let's say Frank gives a pen. So Frank is the subject who is doing the job. Yeah. So the Frank will be subject forever. So differentiating between subject and object is not a big job. I mean, you can easily do it. The problem comes when there is a difference between object and indirect object. So here, just focus upon human beings. If there is any human being involved in the object, then most likely that object will be in dative. Okay, so I'll take a few examples and we'll go a little further in depth on this one. And we'll take up only 30 minutes. The next 30 minutes will be on daily German once again, like the sentences and the greeting phrases. Anybody had any doubt now? Then he or she can directly break me and ask the questions of immediately. Okay, so I'll take some example. Let's say I say I eat the apple in English, right? In German, it will be ich esse den Apfel. Okay. Now here, if you were to ask, if I ask you, what is the subject? So I hope everybody will agree with me. Subject is I, right?
Yes.
And if I ask you guys, what is the object here then?
Apple.
That's right.
Apple.
Yeah, so this is the object and this is the subject. All right. Now, if we transliterate it to German, it will be Ich esse den Apfel. Now, just a moment, because Apfel is there. Apfel is, just a moment, please. I need to find out what is the gender of Apfel, right? So if I just write on Google APFEL, Apfelkuchen, APFEL, yeah. So most likely you will find the gender somewhere around. Okay, let me ask the article. Yes, you see, so Apfel is der Apfel. That is, it's a masculine, right? So remember, friends, I once told you that whatever you find in Google will be nominative only. As you see, there they have clearly mentioned nominative, der Apfel. However, whenever we talk about a gender of a noun, it is always in the nominative case. Because as you will see, in dative it is dem and in accusative it is den. So this is what I'm going to focus upon, because with cases, the gender also changes. So we'll take it up later on, but for now, just remember, der Apfel, it is written that der Apfel, like if I say any example, die Flasche, for example, or das Fenster. I'll just write down instead of just speaking out. If somebody tells you das Mädchen, that is small girl. So if somebody tells you that the gender of Mädchen, that is a small girl, is neutral, thus is neutral. Now don't get to the logic behind. I mean, girl is definitely going to be feminine, but there is no logic when we talk about languages. So just learn it by heart that a small girl, Mädchen, is neutral by gender, right? Now, thus Mädchen, whenever we say, this is the nominative case. Nominative. That is the most virgin form. Like we are not making any changes. It is the most purest form of the word. It is nominative, right? So likewise, here you see der Apfel. That means apple. Apple, by the way, is apple. So here we see der Apfel. So this is the nominative form. So in nominative is der Apfel. DER. This I have written as DER. Now you might be confused. Then ist es den Apfel? Because it should have been der, right? But here we are using den. So why is it like this? So this is a completely new story, and this is known as cases and genders. So this is the concept is with the cases, the genders also change. So today's focus for 30 minutes will be on this topic only. Now, there is one table that you need to learn by heart. I mean, there is no way to go by logic or by any reasoning. You have to learn it by heart. Let's say I'm writing masculine by Masculine, then feminine by F, then neutral by N. A good news is there is plural also. Just a minute. Plural by P, and plural follows the feminine forms. This you will understand a little later, but in most of the cases, plural is just the same as feminine. So, as I said, there are three cases: nominative, then accusative. Please spare me my spelling mistakes. Dative, right? Now, friends, this is going to be a little confusing, but if you remember it by heart, I mean, just every day morning you recall this page or take a screenshot of this page and just read through it once again and just learn it. That will be more than enough. So now, as I said, here I showed you in Google. You see, I just wrote the word Apfel, and Google showed me these three forms. Der Apfel, in dative it is showing dem Apfel, and in accusative it is showing den Apfel. So what you have to remember is in nominative and der, this is the most basic form, right? This is the most virgin form. Feminine we always say D, neutral we always say thus, and plural we always follow feminine. Any doubt, friends? This is the most basic thing. Anybody got any doubt?
9.
9, no? That's great. Now the twist comes afterwards. See, if I say der Mann, so der Mann is going to be like masculine, of course, right? Man is masculine. And if it is a nominative case, there will be only der. However, If this man comes in accusative case, then it becomes den, D-E-N. Okay. Likewise, feminine will be again only D, right? Der, die, das, die, den, die, das, die, das, die. And then comes dem, der, dem, den. Okay. Now there is one more case because I request you guys to take screenshot and remember this page. That's why I'm putting here. Otherwise, this for now you can forget. The third case is genitive. And here it is des, der, des, der, des, there. This line for now you can forget it. I request you friends, please press your Windows and print screen button and take a photo of this page right now, because everybody will be, this is the most basic thing, and I request you guys to see this at least once or twice a day so that you'll be able to learn this by heart. Okay, so now here you see a lot of confusion which will be coming up in German language later on, because by now you learned that der is masculine, right? However, if there is a feminine in dative, that feminine in dative will also become der, right? So this is pretty confusing, isn't it? I mean, you
Yeah.
always heard that, let's say there is a Frau. So it has to be only D, but it will never, it's not mandatory that Frau will be only D. If it is in dative, then it will be der Frau. And if you see this der Frau somewhere in a sentence, then you'll be totally confused that der means masculine and Frau means lady. So how is this lady in masculine gender now? So that's because it's a dative form. You're getting my point, friends? Or is it too
Yeah, yeah.
confusing?
No. It's not confusing, but again, we are wondering, as you said.
Yeah. So you need to ponder upon it twice and thrice, because in a sentence, if you see gender before a noun, don't just remember it that this sentence, this noun has this gender. You have to remember the noun of a gender only in nominative case. This is the purest form which you have to remember all the times in nominative, and the rest are mutants or variants of the same, right? So they keep on changing depending on the cases. So you can expect to see der Frau also at times. Even just a minute. Yes, okay, that's fine. So you can expect to see der Frau also, and likewise you may even see dem man, right? dem. Now you will be confused that man is always der, but if this sentence is in dative, then it will be der man. I'll take up a few examples which will make this things clear. I took one example here, I think. Yes. Let's talk about this example. Ich esse den Apfel. Right? So why is it den Apfel? Apfel is der, right? And here, this is accusative case. Accusative case. So you need to remember by heart that if there is an accusative case and the noun is der, so I'll just go back. What we have to remember is accusative case and the noun is der. So what will happen? Just refer this table again. Accusative case and der, that is masculine. So you will be not be using der anymore, you will be using den, right? So that's why Here it is written as den Apfel. Uh, you got this point, friends?
Yes, Sid.
Yeah, na? And thereby, you remember, um, this sentence can even be twisted back because words location in a sentence does not make too much difference as compared to English. So I can write this same sentence also as den Apfel, den Apfel esse ich. You,
Question mark?
yeah,
Question mark? Yeah.
yeah. You asking?
No, no. Do we need to? It's a question, right?
No, no, no.
Okay, I'm just asking. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's confusing. That's what I want to tell
Yeah.
you. That
Mm,
the sentence was Ich esse den Apfel. That is,
mm-hmm,
I wrote it in English as well. I
mm.
eat the apple. Right? Now, the beauty of German language is the word sequence or positioning of word is not very important here. Ich esse den Apfel. This is the same as den Apfel esse ich. Right? And that's why there is a common saying that Germans are very good in poems. If you see the history, you can find out hundreds of German poets which are world renowned, like Goethe or so many German poets are there. From Jena were there so many. If you just recall, in Google, if you search, you'll find that Germans were very good at poems, and the main reason was their word positioning was not very important. So they can make more rhythmic sentences or make more rhythmic poems just because they can use this sentence also, den Apfel esse ich, or they can use ich esse den Apfel. Right? So they have multiple options to suit the rhythms. Right? This is a true fact actually. Okay. Any questions, friends, by now? Right. All right. Now I'll take a few more examples. I mean, probably you remember um, the dog bites the man, right? The dog bites the man. So if I convert it to German, it will be der Hund beißt, B E I think this is the right spelling, beißt den Mann. All right. So here, if I ask you guys to find out how the things are working, so I hope you will agree with me that this is the subject, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is the direct object, I mean, upon which this work is being done. So the direct object will be accusative and subject will be nominative, right? Now again, den man, this is accusative. Now we know that it is always der man. So why it is den man? You have to find out from that table what is the accusative form of der, right? Accusative form of der. That is what we have to search in our table. Where is that table? Yeah, here. Accusative form of der. Here's the der and here's the accusative is den, right? So we will use den man. And this sentence is the same as den man beißt der Hund, right? So you see, if at the first look, if you read this sentence, der Mann beißt der Hund. Beißt is equal to bites, to grab, to bite from mouth. So if you see this sentence and you did not think upon the cases, what you will conclude is den Mann beißt Der Hund.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're getting a point, na?
Yeah, now we understood that why den is important.
Yes, yes, exactly. And don't just close your eyes and blindly, follow the gender associated in a sentence. This is der Hund. This is absolutely fine. But if you see this den man, don't confuse that the gender of man is den. It is there only, but because the case is different, here it is accusative case, that's why the gender is changed. And der Frau is also, this is something that you will find out many times, and you will be like confused, you will be banging your head, then why is it der Frau? Right? So this was all, a few more examples, just one or two, not much, and then we'll switch over to daily German. Um, I'll take an example. Just a minute. Der Mann schenkt der Frau. Yes. Der Mann schenkt. Schenkt. Schenkt means sends. To send. Schenkt der Frau. If you see here, you'll find der Frau. Das Pfand.
Well, Siddharth, one question.
Yes.
Maybe I don't know whether it is too early now. So let's say take the same example. The dog bites man, right?
Hmm.
So in that case, if it is a woman,
Yeah.
so then it's again accusative and it will be die, right? So it's not dative, it's accusative. So
Yes.
we will not change the case. So in that case, if I write the frau bites their hund, then how can I conclude that it's the other way?
Yes. Good question.
Yeah,
Let's see. Der Hund beißt den Mann. I'll just
yeah,
convert it to Frau.
yeah.
Der Hund. I'll just write down. Oh, sorry. Okay, I cannot erase. Der, der, der Hund beißt. Then this is Frau. Right. Now we know that this is accusative. Right.
Yeah,
And Frau is D. So we have
yeah,
to find the accusative form of D from the table.
yes,
Right. Accusative form of D. So it is same.
same.
So here it is die Frau. Right. Yes, you are right. So it will be die Frau beißt der Hund, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm, der Frau. Yeah, well, if actually a lady is going to bite a dog, the sentence will be the same then.
yeah, correct.
Yeah, I think there is no way out. I mean, then comes the logic. Then let's hope that the dog only is biting the dog. Frau. Good question. Excellent. I'll ask some of my German colleagues then. Or even I'll think upon it how to find out. I'll think upon it. Huh? That's a perfect, absolutely wonderful question.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is the file. Yeah, just a moment. Huh? I'll write down on my copy also. This is. I should not forget this question. Die Frau beißt der Hund. Okay. Now, this is the advantage of interacting with more and more people. Your vision gets broadened.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even right. I just read about nominative, right, a little long back. So,
Hmm.
I think even little bit of accusative, but uh, reading and listening to you, right? It's very different. It's just they give some of the lessons, and we just need to read. Even if you go through the Google, also the same thing.
Yeah,
So I think interacting, that's the reason, it's better interact. Even seeing the video and interacting is, I feel it is a way different way of learning things.
absolutely. Fully agreed with you. That's right. Even I learned interacting with more and more people. You know.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, great. So next example. Der Mann schenkt der Frau das Pferd. Now here, this means das Pferd means horse. So the basic meaning of the sentence is der Mann, the man, sends, schenkt means sends, der Frau, the lady, the horse, right? So as usual, first of all, we have to find out NAD, nominative, accusative, dative. So I'm sure you'll agree this is the subject who is doing the job and it's in nominative, right? Now, as I told you, there are two objects, der Frau and das Pferd. As I told you, remember, in most of the cases, if there is a human being involved, then most likely it's going to be dative. So here, Frau should be in dative, and this is accusative. Okay. Okay. Now here, why is it der Frau? Because Frau is D, die Frau, and I will just consult that table once again, go back to table and find out what is the gender of Frau in dative. So where is my table? Yeah, here it is. What is the gender of Frau in dative? Frau means feminine. In dative, it is der, right? So that's why I have used der Frau. Getting my point, friends?
Oh yes,
Yeah,
Sid.
great. And what about das Pferd? Now, I have to just check out in Google article of PFERD. Uh, what is the article of Ferd? Horse Ferd. Translate. Where is the article here?
Actually, we call Das house only, right? So,
Yeah, but as I said, now there is. It could be anything. You have to only learn by logic, by heart only.
no, no. The question is, if, for example, the alternative word for house is house, right? HAUS. So,
Huh.
if we, I mean, obviously we have more than one word for the same word, right? So, so even in our native language also. So, in
Mhm.
that case, will gender change?
No,
Okay.
as far as I have seen, the gender remains the same if there is two words for the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. However, I'll check it right away. There is one chocolate, Chokolade, and the other word for chocolate is pralinian. Pralinian.
Okay.
I'll check out and I'll take it up later on.
Okay.
Okay, so fine. I just found out that the gender of the horse is well. By the way, I'm talking about the horse. HORSE. Yeah, HORSE. Horse. Ferd
Oh,
is
sorry.
yeah.
I thought it's house.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
my mistake.
I'm
Sorry.
sorry for my
Okay.
spellings. My writing
No, no,
is really too bad.
no. I'm sorry.
Okay. So the man sends the lady the horse. So here the Ferd, thus Ferd is fortunately thus only. So we have to find out what is the gender of thus. That is the neutral in accusative. So I think it remains the same. Accusative,
Yes.
yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Thus. So thereby there is no change in this accusative case. So that is a simple example. All right. So this was just we are already 4 minutes ahead. This was all about a little, in every class I'll be touching these cases now and onwards because it's going to play a real vital role. In fact, all sentences have a huge influence of these cases. Now, you need not learn them by heart. I mean, you are not going to appear for a poetry exam or a kind of a, German grammar exam, but you must know how the things are changing, right? So just make sure that you read this table multiple times a day, or better you write it on a piece of paper and keep it in front of you all the times. Yeah, this is the most guiding one, and we'll be consulting this table multiple times.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, great. So this was all about this technical or grammar, or you can say the boring part of class. Let's dive upon the daily German once again. So now we are here. Okay, so first sentence that I want to take up is, suppose if you are, let's say you are at a counter, you are in a station, railway station, and you got some doubts and you want to get it clear. So in most cases, you will find there is a Deutsche Bahn communication information center. There's a small cabin wherein a lady or a gents will be sitting, and they are always there to answer your questions, right? So most likely, whenever you approach them, there is a glass cabin, and through a microphone they interact with you. The most likely, whenever you reach in front of them, they will be asking you, um, "Wie kann ich?" Oh, sorry. Okay, let it be. "Wie kann ich Ihnen helfen?" Okay, so this is what is the meaning of this sentence? Because you will be most likely finding these sentences multiple times in day-to-day life.
How can I help?
Yes, wie kann ich Ihnen helfen? How can I help you? But still, I want to break up this sentence to understand what the various parts of this sentence. So, as you know, V is simple how. If you
How
just simply remember the W classes, W Fragen, can becomes can.
can
This is I,
I
yeah, and this is to you.
to you in informal?
Yes, no, it is purely formal.
Yeah, I said informal way.
Sorry, yeah. In the formal way, we can write it like this. And helfen is help. So it is very simple. Yeah. The other thing that they can ask you is a little that clinks a little, that sounds a little complex. Was kann ich für Sie tun? Right? So what is this? Was kann ich für Sie tun?
What can I
Yeah.
do for
Where,
you?
yeah, what can I do for you?
Yes. What can I do for you? Right? So if they ask you these two sentences, any of these sentences, was kann ich für Sie tun or wie kann ich Ihnen helfen, then you can straight away ask your question that you have some doubt or you want more information about something. Because last Saturday only I was traveling a lot and I had one doubt. There is one Deutsche Bahn uh, Quer der Land, Quer durch Land ticket. This is a less known ticket, and here what happens is you pay only 42 euros for one person.
Yeah, I think +5, +7, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for single person plus 7 euro,
yeah.
and you
It's
can travel in any REs.
yes, it's for entire NRW, I think. No, no, it's for entire Germany.
Yes, for
Yeah, entire.
complete Germany,
Yeah, correct,
right?
correct.
But the
For
problem,
4 days.
But the
ಇದೆ
problem comes
ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ
in,
ನಿನ್ನೆ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ
yeah, but the problem comes
ಈ
in
ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ
that
ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
it is not clear whether S-Bahn is included or not, right? Because they say RE, IR, or regional, but
Yeah.
S-Bahn is there or not, or maybe bus is there or not. So I asked multiple times. I went to multiple Deutsche Bahn information centers in various stations, and somebody asked me, "Was kann ich für Sie tun?" Somebody asked me, "Wie kann ich Ihnen helfen?" So I thought like it's a good thing to discuss upon in our class.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, so this is one. The other thing is, if suppose you spoke out something, maybe in German or English, and they are unable to understand you, or even if they spoke something and you are unable to understand you, so you can say that, okay, we bitte. Oops, what's this? We bitte, or you can say wieder wollen Sie bitte. So this means we bitte is if they are telling you something and you are unable to understand, so you can ask. However, VBT is normally if somebody is asking you something and you did not understand that question and you are asking it again back, right? This is, let's say,
Ju- Just like pardon me, right? So
yeah, yeah, pardon me, excuse me, I did not understand you, something like that. However, if somebody is giving you any information, right, and you are unable to grasp it, then you can straight away say wiederholen Sie bitte, right? So here it is not a question, it is a request. However, wie bitte is a question that you are asking them. Okay, right. Third thing that I want to take up is, let's say if there are two people in a company, one of them is you guys, and somebody did something and you like it very much. Let's say there is a dashboard that one colleague made and it's showing to you, and you like it very much. So how do you react that I like it very much? So you don't like it. You don't say that ich mag es. Well, mag is to like, Like. Ich mag es. This is a transliteration, English to German or German to English conversion, which is not a correct one. You should always say, das gefällt mir. Das gefällt mir. Right? This means, as I told you earlier also, na, mir is kalt or mir is nicht sicher. Sometimes we say, I am not sure. I am not sure. So, sure is sicher in German. So, ich bin nicht sicher. Ich bin nicht sicher. This is a wrong sentence. This is, let me check out in Google how it reacts. Just a moment. Let's see how it reacts. I am not sure. You see, ich bin nicht sicher. This is a completely wrong sentence. If you go by, these artificial intelligence machines.
Yep.
Yeah, this is transliteration. It is converting
Yeah.
one to one and just trying to make it grammatically right.
Yep.
Yeah, but in German, you have to say, mir ist nicht sicher. Mir ist nicht sicher. Right? So, likewise, if you were to like something, somebody did something and you are liking it, then you must say, das gefällt mir. Means it, transliterating it says, it is being liked by me, which makes no sentence in English, but in German, you have to say, das gefällt mir. Okay. So mark this sentence, friends, because this is a sentence which probably you'll be using multiple times in your career. Okay, now some greetings or wishes. So let's say if somebody sneezes, someone sneezes. So we normally in English say God bless you. God bless you. Well, in Corona, people will say go away or something like that.
No, they will say, God bless me.
God save me otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here in German,
Gesundheit, right?
yes. So you just say Gesundheit, which means good health. Simple, right? Because these are very common words, and it's always good to say these words when somebody sneezes. So, it's a good thing. Likewise, if you are going for eating, right? You are about to start your lunch or dinner, then they say Mahlzeit.
Allzeit.
Yeah. Or they also say bon appetit.
Yeah. But
But it's good enough at it, right?
Yeah, bon appetit or guten
Buon
appetit,
appetito.
anything.
Yeah, guten
no,
bon.
no,
Yeah,
even born appetit also they will tell.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
initially I thought it is a Spanish or other word actually. So
Yeah.
usually
I
they will
think,
call born awage. Why?
yeah, I think it is Französisch.
Yeah,
Born
okay,
away. Yeah,
yeah,
I
correct,
think
correct.
so. But anyways, it's always better to use German words. Mahlzeit is the best thing. Yeah. Then, if somebody's birthday, right, and you want to wish him happy birthday, so you may call it as Herzlichen, Serlic, Herzlichen Glückwunsch. Glückwunsch, right? This is just best wishes. And most likely, if you were to wish it on a birthday, then you can say Herzlichen Glückwunsch zum Geburtstag. That is simple. I mean, you can just write down in a SMS or WhatsApp message or whatever. So you can wish somebody happy birthday by Herzlichen Glückwunsch zum Geburtstag. Yeah. And this was all. And the last part which I want to take up is seventh is um, somebody may ask you in office, we get dear, right? Or one can ask you, we get S dear, right? So as I told earlier, also don't confuse with DEAR. How are you, dear? It is not like this. Yeah, nobody is saying that. Hey, dear, how are you? So this DEAR should not be confused with DIR, right? So if you were to reply this, you can either reply that I am extremely good, I am doing very fine, or you can always say I'm not doing good, right? So how do you say? Um, you can, if with the positive note you want to answer, you can say es get,
Yes, it's sehr good.
yeah, mir sehr gut, genau, sehr gut, or you can say ganz gut, yeah.
Or maybe can we use make it's super something like that?
Yeah, I mean only super you say.
No, or me get super or make it's good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Super is also okay, but super is like kind of a superlative. Like,
Yeah, too good.
you are flying in the air and you are feeling extremely happy, then you can say super good or
Okay,
super, right? But in a normal life, if everything is in ordnung, everything is in order, then you just say, es geht mir gut, right?
okay.
Yeah. And unfortunately, if you are not good or something is working bad, maybe your laptop is not working and you are unable to find a solution, Mir ist schlecht. Mir ist schlecht.
Schlecht. Yeah.
Yeah,
Schlecht.
SCHL. Yeah, please find out the spelling. I'm not sure. Yeah. So mir is schlecht means, I mean, I'm not in a very perfect state of mind, or I'm not very well. Yeah. Then, of course, the next person will ask you, was ist passiert? Something like that they will ask you. Then you can explain that what is going wrong with you, right? And the last thing that you can also reply here is, um, a simple sentence is alles in Ordnung. However, this looks a little formal and not a very friendly statement, alles in Ordnung. However, I mean, you can still use it, but it's always better at this time, when you're learning German, to stick to only one sentence. Es geht mir ganz gut, es geht mir sehr gut, or es geht mir gut. That is also sufficient. Okay.
Mm, so far, so good.
No, good, 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 good. Great. So we are done for the day. And I again request you, please note down this table somewhere, because the complete German, in your future journey, if you're learning German with me or anywhere else, this table is going to haunt you all the time. You know, so the moment you think upon cases, this table should flash in front of you. And if you master this table, just learn this by heart, and I think you'll be able, you'll be able to find your way out in German language then.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. I think daily once.
Uh-huh.
Daily once for 2 minutes. If you
Yeah, yeah,
read it, I think, yeah.
yeah. Otherwise, daily, daily two times for 1 minute. That is also
Okay.
sufficient.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep
Yeah,
yourself
yeah,
occupied.
sure. Yeah.
All right.
Sid,
Yeah,
maybe
that's all.
one. Yeah.
And we'll meet again tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Yes, it one question, last
Yes.
question. So I was just curious to know what is genitive. No need to explain, but just I mean, like dative, we know that it is indirect object. What is genitive? You can tell me in one sentence, just to
Yeah. Genitive
just.
is actually very simple. Genitive
Mhm.
is only possession. Like we say, uh, this is Frank's house, right? So
Mm.
we use Frank's apostrophe s, right?
Yeah.
So this is genitive, this is possessive,
Okay.
right? And let's say, um, mm, yes, I give you one sentence. In English, we say the target is, let's say, the verbal, orally, I'm speaking a sentence. The
Hmm.
target of the project is, um, no, wait a minute, let me recall. Yes, let's say we many time we use this sentence. Um, at the end of the day, we should complete the project, right?
Mm.
So at the end of the day, right? So what are we saying is, day is something, and it is possessing an end, right? It possesses an end. Day possesses a start. Day possesses a mid time, and it possesses an end.
Yeah.
So this sentence can be transliterated in English. In German is Endes des Tages. End des Tages. Right? So
Okay.
des Tages, here is the this possessive pronoun, that is the genitive.
Okay.
Yeah. And Tag is there. So you see des Tag.
Yeah.
It is like this only.
Okay.
And just a minute, let me find out one more example. Article of Meinung. Declination. Die Meinung, yes. So if I were to say in English, I am of the opinion, Opinion, I think. I don't know if right or wrong spelling. So opinion is Meinung and the gender is D that I just checked, right? But if I were to convert it to German, see, this Meinung, this is my opinion. This is like I possess this opinion, right? Maybe you have your opinion, so that is being possessed by you. So this is a genitive case. So if I were to
Okay.
convert it to German, so I'll say Ich bin der Meinung. Now let's analyze this. Why der? Because Meinung is D, right? The nominative or the most virgin gender of Meinung is D, that is feminine. However, if you right now you are in a possessive, you're talking in genitive form, and here you see the feminine form of genitive is der. Getting my point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So thereby the sentence will turn into Ich bin der Meinung, right? So
Okay.
there is showing the genitive form. So this is like, it does not make a huge difference on the German sentences, or I mean it hardly makes any effect on the overall grammar.
Okay.
Yeah, only when you are showing any possession, if somebody owns something, then it comes into picture. Otherwise, in present scenario, I mean, as on today, we did not focus much upon it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
welcome. So, any other doubts, friends? Anybody any doubt? No. I'll upload this video as soon as possible. And once again, I request you please remember this table. And there will be a few more versions of this table which will be coming up in future. But then not a rocket science. You can manage it very well, right? So with this,
Okay.
let's wind up today's. And morning we'll again meet at 10 a.m.
Yep.
Yeah. Have a
Sure.
good day, you. Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Bye bye. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Schönen Tag.
Schönen
Danke
Tag
dir.
noch. Tschüss.